Hey everybody, thank you for tuning into BlueCast. I am your host Mouse. I'm so glad to be with you. I'm glad to have you with us. This week we've got a good one. We're going to be talking about the lies that drug dealers tell and how to spot them. And why would they lie? They're supposed to be your friend. Well, drug dealers do lie. It's not a hot take. They definitely do lie. And as somebody who's been on both sides of this transaction, I thought it would be good to kind of go into what these lies are, whether or not they're harmful to you, and what you can do when your plug lies to you. You'll be able to spot these lies out, hopefully, after watching this episode, and you're going to be that much smarter and that much more prepared for the next time that your plug wants to be shifty. So, first of all, why lie? Why would your plug lie to you? Well, there's many reasons for this. It ranges from making more money to sheer laziness. But some of these lies can be harmful. They can give you the wrong idea about the substances that you're taking. So let's get right into it. What are some of these lies? Well, to start things off, we're going to start with double dipped. Now, this is a phrase that people who sell acid sometimes like to use. I would say this is probably more for somebody who doesn't really know what the fuck they're talking about, because this is a made up term. This doesn't really mean anything. This isn't how acid is laid. You don't dip it and then dip it again. It's kind of ridiculous. So if your plug tells you this, ask him how many UG are in each tab. And if he says a number that's over 150, you should definitely proceed with caution, because this is very rare to have tabs that are dosed that high. You can only fit so much LSD on a tab of acid. 99% of the time, your acid tabs are going to be dosed from 80 to 120 UG, which is a standard dose, and it's enough. You don't need, if you're looking for your first acid trip to take 200 or 300 micrograms, you need to slow down. Just take 100 micrograms and ride that out, because it's definitely enough, and you will definitely trip balls off of that. So if you do get tabs and your plug says that they're double dipped, and you go ahead and you make that transaction, just make sure that you're using an Ehrlich reagent when you test your substances. If it turns purple, then that indicates the presence of indoles, which is a pretty good indicator that you've got LSD, or at least an LSD analog like 1P LSD or FLAT or things like that. Needlepoint. Sort of the same story with this one. It's kind of unclear what this term means anymore. It could be something to do with the production of LSD. I've heard people say that it refers to microdot. But essentially, this doesn't mean anything, and it's just kind of a way to fluff up the supposed potency of the acid that your plug is trying to sell you. So he says it's needlepoint. Does that have anything to do with how the acid was laid on the blotter? Is it microdot? The odds are your plug doesn't know either. But there's not really a clear answer for what this means. So I would proceed with caution. Don't assume that this acid is going to be more potent than anything else that you've taken just because he said it's needlepoint, or just because he said it's fluff, or Grateful Dead family sold him the fucking acid. All of this is marketing. At the end of the day, acid is acid. So if you take 100 micrograms of acid, you're going to trip balls. So just find out what the dosage is and go from there. Another lie plugs tell. It's Molly. Well, it might not be. It's a trend near me to make MDMA pressed pills and put things in them like cathinones from, relatively desirable cathinones like BK, MDMA, or methylone, to stuff that you don't really want to put in your body. From that, you can go all the way to meth. Sometimes plugs will put meth in your molly. So it's a really good thing to have a marquee reagent test. I'm also, in the description below, we're going to have a link to a website where you can get all of these reagent test kits at a reasonable price. I don't get any spiffs from this. I'm just putting it out there so that you guys can find these reagents and take drugs safely. So yeah, it is definitely really important to test your Molly despite what your plug says. Um, Using a marquee reagent or even a fentanyl test kit can definitely keep you safe. I've had MDMA pills that have been pressed with methamphetamine. I've seen pills that are pressed with heroin. So just be careful. If you're eating a pressed Molly pill, you definitely want to test it. And the same thing is true really with crystal MDA or crystal MDMA. You're going to want to test these with your marquee reagent just to be on the safe side, because at the end of the day, you don't want to be on a drug and not know what you're on. It's better to know exactly what you're taking so you can be safe. Jim took some and he was fine. This is not a good way to test your Molly. I mean, it's okay. You kind of get an idea if it's safe or not, but Jim might not know what Molly feels like. So Jim might have just taken a handful of methamphetamine, which, let's be honest, feels pretty good. Don't do meth, but it feels pretty good. And a lot of people might confuse this sensation with being on MDMA if they don't know any better. Another lie that your plugs will tell you about MDMA is that their pills are double or triple stacked. Well, this doesn't really mean anything anymore either. Back in the day, it used to mean a double stack had 200 milligrams and a triple stack was 300 milligrams. But I've seen plugs that are selling obvious cathedone ripoffs that are saying these are double stacked, and it doesn't mean anything. So again, if your plug tells you that his pills are double or triple stacks, just ask him how many milligrams are in each pill. And if he says that his double stacks have 100 milligrams, then maybe let him know that doesn't mean what he thinks it means.
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
The most famous lie that drug dealers will tell you: I'll be there in 5 minutes. This is a lie. This is always a lie. The plug tells you this because they're afraid that you're going to go to someone else. Drug dealers assume that all of their clientele are very impatient people, and they assume that you have 5 other people on the line headed to you to deliver you drugs at any moment. So they're going to lie and they're going to tell you, yeah man, I'm right around the corner. I'm 5 minutes away. I'm just getting gas and I'll be there in a second. Just forget this. Your drug dealer is going to show up whenever your drug dealer shows up. They're busy people. They've got a lot of people to take care of. Just be patient and, don't text your plug back every 10 minutes saying, hey man, where are you? They don't like that. Another famous lie that plugs tell: it's fire. This is an old standby. My shit is the best shit. Bro, even better than last time. Motherfucking fish scale. Backdoor, Cali, OG, Dispo, gas. This is most likely cap. This is a marketing technique so that you think their stuff is so good that not even your plug can believe it. Well, this usually doesn't matter. It's a bit of a white lie as far as safety goes. I mean, the only time you should be looking out for this lie is if your plug increases the price just a little bit along with the lie. So, I mean, you never really know. It's a crapshoot. You kind of have to trust your plug on this one, whether or not it's more fire than last time. As long as you're paying the same price as before, you should be fine, and don't really worry about this lie. Another more nefarious lie that plugs will sometimes employ is shorting your bag. Now, it's definitely important to have a scale, especially if you're dosing things like MDMA or 2CB or things like that, where you really want to get a very specific number of what your dose is. But it's also important to have a scale to just check up on your dealer once in a while and make sure that he's not shorting your bags. Weigh your stuff when you get it, especially if you have a new plug. And if you do get it shorted, tell your plug you weighed it. What are they going to do? Not sell drugs to you anymore? Well, that's fine because they just shorted you on a bag. So fuck that guy. So I said in the beginning that plugs have reasons for lying, but are they really good reasons? Plugs have kind of a responsibility to educate their custody kids and tell them exactly how much it's dosed. If you sell 100 UG acid as 300 UG acid, the person that you sold that to might think the next time that they get acid that they can easily handle 300 micrograms, which might not be the case. They're probably only used to 100 micrograms. So if you tell them that, hey man, this one tab's got 300 mics on it, the next time when their new plug tells them that they've got 100 mic tabs, they're gonna be like, oh, give me 3 because I had fun last time when I was on 3. Well, that can be a ticket to destruction because you're not ready for that dose, and as a plug, you've lied to this person, giving them a false impression of what 300 micrograms feels like. So do the right thing, plugs. Come on, it's not that hard. Nobody's really gonna pay like that much more for triple dipped acid. Just tell the truth, and your customers will thank you because they're going to be more educated and they're going to have a better idea of what they're doing. And with that said, if you're taking acid that you're not familiar with, especially if your plug has told you that it's triple, quadruple, double, mega dipped, and it's NEEDLEPOINT, family fluff, top shelf gas, or whatever, treat it like it's what he's saying it is, and then go from there. If he says that it's a 300 microgram tab, it's probably not. But if he says that, you might consider starting off with a third of the tab so that you can kind of judge for yourself what the intensity level of that experience is and kind of go from there and, make your own determinations and being safe. So with all of these lies out there, we have to do something to reach out to these plugs. They need to know that we know. They need to know to do the right thing, right? So I made this PSA that is hopefully going to change some hearts, change some minds, and just kind of change the way that plugs interact with their custody kids. So here we go.
So please, if you're a dealer, do the right thing. For far too long, we've been told that you're right around the corner and that your super fire triple stacks are way better than the last ones. Tell the truth. Your acid isn't double dipped. Be honest about the methamphetamine you used to stretch your MDMA. Not every new batch of weed you get is the most dank shit you've seen all year. Stop lying. The change begins with you. Here's some puppies.
But just in case your plug decides to continue lying after seeing that powerful public service announcement, I don't know why they would, but just in case, remember to always test your drugs. Get a scale that's, precise. Weigh your drugs when you get them. Weigh them before you pay your dealer even. So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope this was enlightening. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, wherever that may be. Share this video with your friends, your family. Share it with your plug. Let them know that you're on to him. That might be fun. And there's also a link in the description for our Discord community. There are 17,000 psychonauts ready and looking forward to meeting you. So slide on through. We'll be happy to have you. And until next time, spread love.